one before we do. It is very common to not hear it from the starting location, so we won't be stressed if we don't. Right? Yeah, we heard something, but it was weird. Alright, good luck! We heard a digital, sounded almost like slow scan TV transmission. We're probably going to go all the way out to the bypass maybe, or country club road, somewhere on that way. And then we can either cross off this whole quadrant or feel good about it. I thought I heard it best. It was real weak, but I thought I heard it best when I was pointed over this way or maybe that away a little. No one's ever done a digital transmission. That was... That's getting strong, wasn't it? Because every time we go up, like we go up these hills and it gets stronger. Less static, more signal. Kind of thinking about if they haven't closed off that Sportsplex for the winter, pulling over there in that giant parking lot and taking a direction reading, 3 or 4 minutes from now when it goes again. I didn't hear anything. I assume it's further up north, maybe. Of course, you could be right in that we have now went past it somehow, but thought it would depend on what we hear. McGalliard, and then start heading in towards town. So we got a nice strong carrier. But no tones that time, at all. Almost seems contradictory, doesn't it? How can the signal be stronger but the audio be weaker? Go all the way down to the stoplight on Centennial, turn right. Start making our way towards McCullough Park and see what happens. K9 HMX mobile fox hunting. Sure.
K9 HMX ZGB mobile. Were you calling, Drew?
Oh, I'm just throwing my call out there. It's been interesting so far.
I think it's cool. The Wiley Fox is sending slow scan, and sometimes carrier. Although, well, we'll chat about that later. But I've been chasing slow scan all around, so that's been cool.
Yeah, me too. Definitely chasing a digital transmission, and then one time had carrier only, but I wasn't sure if that was just me. So it's been interesting. I'll stay listening here, and we'll get back to the hunt. K9 HMX. Been left up here next to who I think is Rob leaving. Just let him pass, because those sticks and stuff.
after you said that, was I heard that stuff. I thought, well, that's just something else.
No, we think that's him.
Okay.
We think that's him broadcasting like slow scan or other digital transmission, just to try and throw us off.
Well, it's throwing me off. I didn't hear anything up here.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything at the last place we stopped either, so we may have to reroute.
I was just down here at the leaf dump site, and I heard something there.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's bouncing off something. I thought if I could hear it right over there, I should have been able to hear it here.
Well, it threw us off because the last transmission we picked up was just up there on McGalliard, and
Just a little.
it was just carrier. There was no audio.
I heard that too.
So I'm not sure if he had an error in that transmission or if that was...
Yeah, I figured somebody was just on the frequency interfering with us.
Yeah, and we were like, how can the carrier be stronger but the audio be weaker? What's happening? Weird.
I
All right.
don't know. Well, I'm glad Robert's got a quadrant because I don't. All right.
Let's go see what we hear from up here, but it may not be anything.
Well, the place we heard it the best was way out on Country Club Road as we were just driving along.
Southeast corner of town. Agreed. Strongest was over there. Like I was looking at those like porta potties over that way. There is a tiny little park over there. I wonder. We're gonna take a bunch. No, if we don't see any people, it's a small park and you can see everything from here. So. Don't see anything. Yeah. I'm wondering really hard about the wetlands. My last bearing led us into here. Led us this direction. Yeah, if we can find a parking lot on the left side of the wetlands, it's looking suspicious. Can you turn left here?
Is that him?
That's gotta be him. Pull in right there. How's it going?
Robert's still out?
Yep, and
Did you hear
Brian.
us all right?
yeah, heard you great.
Good.
Heard you great. 1042. K9 HMX spotted a fox 10:42 a.m. K9 HMX.
Good job, crew. Good job. I had to sit and take one more bearing, so I did that and took myself out of the run there. Congratulations on that. Gave you some ZGD mobile from Jackson in the bypass.
Jackson and the bypass. Okay.
He always goes the wrong way.
Okay. That's an interesting choice. We went down up the east side of town. We went there and we went up Country Club and you started getting real strong, and we cut back through here and then took a bearing from the top of the hill at McCullough Park.
No.
And
that's a
then
good place.
we just went right on this road being like, I could tell you were like right there.
Yeah.
But you were still a little weak there, but we could hear you all right. So it kind of made sense. I
How did we
knew
sound over at the library?
at the library,
Yeah.
we could tell it was digital, and we could tell that you were weak, but I could hear you with a beam, but not with like a mobile whip.
Okay.
So you were right there in a good spot to be.
Good.
Who picked the spot?
I did.
You did?
I had some good ideas, but I thought if it's so crappy, it just, what else are we gonna do?
Yeah. You're gonna sit in a car, basically.
Yeah. And my son's getting bored.
Yeah. More fun to hunt, he thinks?
Yes. Did anybody get that it was slow scan?
Yeah. We were talking about it on the repeater. We were like,
Oh, you were?
yeah, we were like, all right, it's definitely digital. Sounds like slow scan to me. And everybody agreed. Yeah.
What did you say, Jackson in the bypass?
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of the same way you went.
He said he,
Here goes.
he said he, had you narrowed down to a quadrant, he said.
Okay.
So I don't know what quadrant he thinks.
He thinks he's at a boundary line. I think he's in that spot.
Yeah, and he did tell us that. He said, he did say, yeah, what did he say?
He was at a boundary.
Yeah, he thought you were
pushing the
at a
boundary.
town boundary. So
Oh,
somewhere on an outskirt?
We had talked about that, but
Yeah.
that's for a warmer day. It's too wet and crappy out there. How good it come through? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we're about 72, doing better than that.
Over here somewhere, but I could not get a bearing.
Really?
Brian shows up at 11:02.
There he is.
And Robert, 11:21 a.m.
Great spot. I love the slow scan. I goofed myself good. I had you east, a hair north, but it was mostly east out of the parking lot, and so I jammed. I was going to try to get halfway between the library and the bypass, and the timing wasn't right, and that's where all the industrial things were on there. So I was gonna try to get towards where the marshes used to be at Burlington and 12, and I got there, and it was a really strong signal, and I had you. The weird thing is I must have had you off the back of the beam because I had you as like, it seems like he's east, but how much further east could he go? So I got on that little road that curves on the other side of the river back to where you get to the FOP and the gun range and all that, and started to meander around there. And then I had you come in pretty much straight back this way, and it was a really good signal. So I went up to, and I was still in it, but I got myself from where I got myself psyched out was then I went under the bypass up Country Club to that Village Pantry there at the bypass and Jackson.
Yeah.
And I was there, and
Which would not be a bad spot.
No.
and it was wanting.
We
to
went up
come-
Country Club at one point.
It was wanting to come back to the west, but it was almost straight west and a little bit south, and so I'm like, well, where in the heck can we be? And then at that point, I just started going nutty. Finally, I ended up back basically at Burlington and 12th and came up Burlington. And when I got, then I just kept buzzing and losing it. The last bearing that I had that was worth anything was from Ribble. And knowing where you are now, that's just right down here.
Yep.
And it was kind of pointing towards the northwest-ish, which makes sense.
Yep.
And I was getting path coming right up the river, which I know.
Yep.
And said I just started jamming too far north on it. And it's like, there's no way you're going to go to work. So I'm like, where in the heck is he? And at that point, when I was at 5 points, nothing made sense. I mean, I was getting you from everywhere and nowhere. Nothing was making sense. I couldn't stop it down far enough. And that's when I called him for a clue.
Yeah.
And you had the decode. I kept wanting to decode the thing. I've got the program on my iPhone. I just, I was juggling too many things. But no.
Well, we all did that. We all were like, oh, I wish I could decode that, but we're thinking about other things. And you can triangulate no matter
I
what
told
it is.
Drew next time I want to do SSTV, but give the next Simplex channel out over it.
Okay.
So you've got to decode it. To
Oh,
get to
that
the
would be
So
be sweet.
if like every 10 minutes the frequency changes,
Yeah.
and the
Good
slow
thing you did
scan
that today,
tells you the
because I
next
didn't
frequency.
Everybody, yeah. I'd have to call everybody and say, yeah, you got to
Well,
have it. You'd be lost.
it was Black Cat software. I'm sure they've already shown it to you. You
Yeah,
have an iPhone.
I've got it now.
It's a really cool program, and if you have the cable, the decoding is actually excellent on it. On Transmit, I have found, not with Androids but with iThings, sometimes it'll want to get stuck transmitting. It just gets jammed.
It was originally do it with MMSSTV on my laptop, and it just freaked my laptop out every time I did it.
Ferrites, that's the only way I've been able to get around is just wrap it a bunch of times in a ferrite. That's the most
It's
I've been
just
able
all
to do.
the RF in there. It's-
The other one you can do is put the radio a little farther away, but you're kind of the same with the tone on there. But no, it was I was real. As soon as I heard the slow scan, I was like, I know what he's doing. I'm off, and I used straight east, and off I was going.
If you and Drew hadn't had that conversation, I would have still been listening for your voice.
About the slow scan, yep.
Well, no, your little MP3 player.
Oh yeah.
I just thought somebody else was on the
Oh,
frequency
the
doing
MP.
it. I'm too inexperienced to think about the tricks.
Good hunt, everybody.
Good hunt.